This week undoubtedly will go down in the history books as the week that things just couldn't get any bigger. The week that things got too big, as we have some very big things coming in less than 48 hours, with Bitcoin right now above the 21 and 50-day moving average for now at least. And the question on everyone's minds is, will this week be big or will it be really big? And so that's what we're going to attempt to answer in this video. The most important FOMC is just around the corner, and altcoins look like this, ready to go up. Very much so. The RSI has broken a downtrend that has lasted for over a year, and a breakout from a bullish ascending triangle that has been forming for over a year absolutely gives massive momentum to this once it actually busts. And the question isn't, keep this in mind, write this down actually. The question isn't, will it bust? The question is, when will it bust? I ask myself that every day, sometimes more than once. As well, we see this about a 93.4% chance that a 25 basis point cut will be the choice on Wednesday, and about a 6.6% chance that actually it'll be a double cut, a 50 basis point cut. Obviously, very, very likely it's going to be a 25 basis point cut. But in addition to the FOMC rate cut decision on Wednesday, we have jobless claims on Thursday. Basically, as Lark says, this is the week you've been waiting for the entire summer. And let's just say I have all the tissues I'll need because it's going to be a fun day. We also see this, though. I do want to highlight this. The last time that the Fed cut rates was back in December, about 9 months ago. Bitcoin was about $106,000 at the time, but then it dumped about 30%. Over the following weeks. So actually, let's do this. Let's go back to about December 18th on the chart. December 18th of 2024. On a daily, you really have to go back pretty far, honestly. December 18th, right about here, as you can see, right about 106, was at the time all-time highs. And then it did actually, I mean, look at this. Actually, if you look at the RSI and the MACD, look how much, my goodness. Very oversold, very overbought on the RSI and MACD. So yeah, naturally, we did actually spend a couple weeks going down. Then we actually did squeak out another new all-time high. But I think fundamentally there were some big things going on, obviously, with the new presidency. This was during this whole time. This is the very beginning of January. And yeah, we did actually enter a depulation that basically, a downtrend that basically lasted until April. And then up we go. Big time after that. So that happened then. So we were just looking also at the MACD and the RSI. What does the MACD and the RSI look like here? Wow, not anywhere close to being overbought at all. Okay, keep in mind. So that's one thing. Just because we're getting a rate cut does not guarantee that it'll do the same thing that it did last time, which was dump. Ultimately, then it did pump a lot, but the immediate reaction basically was to dump. But basically, the reason I bring that up is because don't necessarily expect that things are just going to start pumping the second we get a rate cut on Wednesday, even though that's my base case. That is what I think is going to happen. I think that is exactly what's going to happen. But all I'm saying is if we get a rate cut and then for 2 weeks after that, maybe the price doesn't go nearly as high as people think, or maybe it dumps, I'm just showing you that happens, okay? Again, my base case is I don't think that is the most likely scenario, but I have to mention it. I'm not going to only mention only bullish things, right? I have to mention bullish and bearish things, possibly. But like I said, my base case still is that I think that we're going up. I think we're going up big time. But Bitcoin is locked in a major bullish signal. The weekly stochastic RSI is crossed bullish. This signal printed 9 times in the cycle alone, on average leading to a gain of about 35%. 35% from here, where we are right now, would be about $155,000 per Bitcoin. On this chart, each time we got here with the stochastic highlighted in white, you can see where the price was, and look what happened each time after. This actually signaled a bottom each and every time, and pumps came after them. Some of these pumps were short-lived and dumped shortly after, and some were very long-lived and didn't dump right after, but all of them, they pumped after getting here on the stochastic weekly, specifically RSI after a bullish cross. We also see that Bitcoin has triggered a hidden weekly bullish divergence. Macro chart is screaming for continuation. Upside is inevitable. We have a low followed by a higher low on price, but a low followed by a lower low on the oscillator, which signals weekly bullish divergence, hidden weekly bullish divergence specifically, aka the juice that gets us loose. It's the fuel that gives us the power to pump big time. Whether it's in life or whatever it is, before you pump big, this isn't even related to Bitcoin. Before you pump big, you want to make sure you're hydrated and you want to make sure you have fuel. You can't pump if you're dehydrated. You can, but you might be extra tired when you're done pumping. But you want to make sure that before you pump, you want to make sure that you're feeling pretty good. You don't want to be dehydrated before you pump, right? You want to go into a pump hydrated and ready to go. Preferably relaxed and with some good sleep behind you. But the point is, we are refueled, we're hydrated, and we're ready to pump. That's what this chart is showing us, that we're ready. Bitcoin is also massively oversold here. Next leg up is inevitable. We see how oversold we are. Look at this, each and every time. Again, so many things showing us that Bitcoin is ready for a move up. Not to mention, we are quite literally, again, very overdue for rate cuts, and that has historically helped. Whether it's short or long term doesn't matter. Overall, long term, actually it does matter. Long term is it's bullish, right? Gold has been surging massively. It actually just surged to a new all-time high ahead of rate cuts. Bitcoin is next. Bitcoin and gold have a correlation, and Bitcoin lags gold by about 100 or so days, but Bitcoin is, very long overdue for a massive pump. We see Bitcoin buyer demand as well has just hit new all-time highs. Specifically, look at this. Look at 2025. The ETFs were approved in 2024, but look what happened in 2025. We have never seen this much accumulation addresses, the demand of accumulation addresses like this before. It's kind of insane how insane this thing has really gone up. And so far, this has been a very unique bull market, right? You can't argue that. Like, we hit a new all-time high before the halving, which had never happened before until this last time. We have, for the first time ever, positive crypto regulation coming, and we have ETFs, which are quite literally the most successful ETFs that have ever been launched. And all signs point to them continuing to break records year after year. Things are changing for the space, right? But the demand is one thing that is kind of very hard to wrap your head around, how big the demand is. But people are wondering why the price isn't going up, but they're going to be shocked when the price all of a sudden does go up, right? That's the thing. You see all of this bullish sentiment and all of these fundamental data points showing us, wow, this is all so bullish. Everything is lined up. It all looks so good. Why is the price not absolutely exploding $5,000, $10,000 every single day? Then when that actually starts happening, a lot of people are going to be asking, well, why is the price going up? What happened? Guys, this is what happened. The same thing I talk about every day, the same thing everyone talks about every day, the same things we're seeing. All of this is why Bitcoin is about to pump massively. Just because it's not happening the second we're getting all of this confirmation that, wow, things are actually going really well, don't be surprised when it actually does happen. That's your biggest mistake. Don't actually be surprised. You know why it's going to go up. I talk about it every day. You know why it's going to. It just isn't at this very second. But when it actually starts happening, do not ask why it's happening. I'm telling you right now why it's happening. I've been telling you for the past few weeks, few months, few years why Bitcoin's going to keep going up. So don't be surprised when it happens. It doesn't happen every day. It happens all at once. It happens in very small windows of time. Most of the pump happens and a lot of people miss out. And then they FOMO in, and then that's the worst time to be investing, is when you're FOMOing in. Also, fun fact, if you hold Bitcoin for more than 3 years, your odds of losing money are basically 0%. So the entire total 2 chart, or sorry, this is the total 3 chart. Let's look at the total 2 chart. Look at that. Actually, did it actually hitting new all-time highs, about 1.64 trillion, or right around there. The entire altcoin market, very big. Obviously, Ethereum is the biggest leader of this. Right now, it's about, what is this? About a 1 daily candle pump, about a 5% pump away from hitting new all-time highs and kickstarting this massive explosion. Is it going to happen on Wednesday when we get rate cuts? Is it going to happen today? Is it going to happen Thursday, Tuesday, Friday? When is it going to happen? Nobody knows for sure. But all I know is that price action is going to be extremely volatile on Wednesday. Whether you're long or short, it's going to be pumping and dumping massively on Wednesday, like we always see, right? Every time we see FOMC meetings or there's a big news event or a big catalyst like this, those days are always very volatile. So basically on Wednesday, pull out your phone, make sure to be glued to your screen because you're gonna be in for a little bit of a show. Who knows if Bitcoin's gonna just go up 5-10%, or maybe dump a little bit as well, or maybe it does both. Maybe it pumps 5%, dumps 5%, and then pumps another 5%, and then dumps another 5% or something, right? It's volatile. Days like the FOMC days are volatile. So it'll be interesting to be watching price on days like that. Specifically on a daily chart for Bitcoin, ever since bottoming back at the very, very, very last day of August, the very first day of September, Bitcoin has been going up. Right now, it's sitting right above the 50-day moving average. We're getting close to a bullish cross actually on the daily chart, but the weekly, obviously much more important. Momentum is shifting up on the daily as well. The weekly chart has just been grinding on this green 21-week moving average for a while, signaling pumpy coming. The S&P 500 has actually just hit a new all-time high today. By the time this gets posted, it'll already be closed. Very likely it's going to be closing the highest it's ever closed. And in general, I mean, look at the US dollar, man. Look at the US dollar. Just looks pitiful. It just absolutely wants to dump further. Whether it's global liquidity, whether it's Bitcoin's correlation with gold, whether it's Bitcoin's inverse correlation with the US dollar, whether it's, as I already said, I think the M2 money supply, whether it's all of these, dozens of oscillators and indicators telling us that Bitcoin should be going up here, and has been, completely correct the past 2 or 3 years, just time after time predicting these pumps. With the fact that the altcoin chart has never looked as bullish as it does right now, multi-year ascending triangle. Look at Bitcoin dominance also collapsing. Altcoin's probably about to pull something big off here, but it's a race between Bitcoin and the altcoins. Very likely 1 or 2 of them are going to be pumping regardless. This looks extremely bullish, and I'm extremely bullish for this week. It's a big week. Today is not a big day necessarily, but this is a big week. Tomorrow's the eve of pumpy FOMC meeting, or at least we could say the eve of volatility. And then Wednesday is volatile day. And then Thursday, Friday, days of pumpy, days of dumpy, who knows? I'm personally thinking that this week is going to be quite bullish. And all this setup is there. Weekly, as you can see, is there. The daily is right where it needs to be. Couldn't ask for a better setup. Trades will be made. Trades will be won. Trades will be lost. Bitcoin will be bought. Bitcoin will be sold, but I'll be buying it. I've been buying it. Let's just say something big is coming. And as well, as I've been mentioning, if you sign up with the link to FEMX below, there's only a couple spots left. You get 10 free dollars up to an additional 2,000 in bonuses. Actually, even more than that, depending on how much you deposit and everything. But yeah, sign up below. Just email password. It takes like 5 seconds. And yeah, without any further ado,